Hey, hello and good afternoon. Happy Saturday and welcome to another episode of Speaking Plain English. I am your host, Roberta, and today is going to be very special. As you can see, I'm outside, I'm on location. I am at the beautiful Baisley Bond Park in Queens, and it's just such a beautiful day. And plus, I have a lot going on today. So I figured, you know what? Why not? It's a beautiful day. Why not have an episode outside, right? Hopefully you guys can hear me because I think this may be the first time I'm using headphones, but I want to start and get into it. So first I would like to have everybody, the whole usual like and share and, all that great stuff. Liking, sharing, commenting, all those great things. By the way, in case y'all hear noise in the background, like I said, we're live and we're outside. So just let's go with it, okay? Alrighty. So I would love for you all to say, hello once you come in because sometimes I'm not able to see who's here. So it actually means a whole lot for you guys to do that. All right, so let's get into it. So if you may not have seen what today's topic is, I'm going to be talking about miracles that are actually happening in real time. Some people say that miracles were only for Bible times and, that you don't see, miracles happening anymore. But I'm going to share a story with you guys. I'm going to share some light on, or I'm going to share a testimony of mine, and this is going to be in dedication to my daughter, Liberty McKenzie, who is 11 years old as of yesterday. Yes, we celebrated her 11th birthday, and I just, when it became time to kind of like almost at midnight, I started to really think. Like every year, I reflect and I think about, when her birthday comes around, how she and I almost were not here. Um, but this year, I don't know what it was that was different. This year really hit me hard. And I was thinking about how many things, that she may not have been able to experience and the things that she just, if it had not happened, if God had not stepped in. And I'm just going to give you the story pretty much of my baby girl, who's my firstborn. First of all, I'll just share this with you guys, which I have shared in the previous episodes, that previously, before my pregnancy with Liberty, I had three other pregnancies. One when I was 19, one when I was 25, I think, 25, 26, 25, 20, maybe 27, even somewhere over there. But it was like my mid to upper 20s, right? Yes. And then one more, and I was like 28, as a matter of fact. Yes, because I had with her when I was 29. So it was 20. Yes. Okay. So it was one at 19, one at like 25, one at 27, and then then I was pregnant with Liberty. So I found out that once I had like the third miscarriage, and all of the miscarriages that I had were within the first trimester, within the first few weeks. Actually, I remember actually the first one, when I was 19, I found out that I was pregnant, and then the day after I found out, I started bleeding, and then I went to the clinic, and they told me, because I was like, I think I may have gotten the test wrong or something because I'm on my cycle now, and they're like, no, you're still coming out pregnant. You need to go to the emergency room because you might be miscarrying. So that's how that happened, and then that ended up happening. So all of them were in the first trimester. So after that, I'm like, okay, what is going on? Why is it that I was not able to carry? Why have not, I'm not able to carry successfully? And I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about some things. But if I'm honest, truthfully speaking, I wasn't ready anyway, to be perfectly honest. But I was going to carry them, and I was going to keep them, and I had already made the decision that, this is what I decided to do. This is what happens, and this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the kids. Um, However, what ended up happening was I was not able to have them, and I started to wonder, like, what happened? What is there something wrong with me? Is there something um, like going on physically, or what is? Why was I not able to? So I went to a doctor, and they did a full workup on me, and they found out that my progesterone levels were low. So when we were planning, my now ex-husband, and I were planning to have another child. They told us that I needed to take these progesterone suppositories, and those things made me feel so nasty. Oh, I can't even. I hate them things, but at the end of the day, it worked, and I was able to carry her. I was still working, actually. As a matter of fact, I was working at a sports store, Olympia Sports, I forgot what mall it was. It was a mall in Yorktown Heights, in Westchester County. So while I'm doing that, and I'm an assistant manager and everything, I'm working full time and all of that. And I wake up, I start to notice myself, feeling numb. Like all my extremities were numb. My fingers were numb, and I would be getting frequent headaches. And I was definitely huge. I blew up a whole lot. And I just noticed that, every morning when I woke up, I would start to feel my fingers and my feet tingly. And I just thought that was one of those things that they don't tell you about pregnancy, because, hey, cuz, those were some of the things that, there were a lot of things that I was not told about pregnancy. And that I was just assuming that, that was one of them. But I left it alone for a while, and one day, because it would go away, I would get up. I figured maybe I leaned on something too long, or I slept on something for too long, and that's just what ended up happening. So what I did was, one day I woke up. Was it in the middle of the night, or was it? No, I woke up getting ready to go to work. Hi, Lady Rain. Yes, ma'am. Listen. Oh my goodness. So I woke up one day, getting ready to go to work, and I felt the usual tingles in my hands, and the blurriness in my eyes, and the tingles in my feet. And normally, like I said, they would go away as I continued to, go on about getting ready for the day. But I noticed that they didn't go away, and I'm like, this is staying a little longer than I thought it was supposed to. So I'm like, okay. So you can't be seen right here. My son who was going to join us in a little while, is here. Say hello, Jeremiah. Hi. Okay, so I actually told him about the story this morning, so he heard it for the first time today. But yeah, so I started to feel like I was feeling tingly in my hands and my feet, and it wouldn't go away this time. Even as I was at work, I noticed that it didn't go away. So what I did was I decided to call my doctor's office, and then I think it was an after hours thing, and they told me that I needed to go to the hospital. So I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to think if I went that day. Did I leave? Yes, I left work, and I told my manager I'm feeling weird, and I just called the doctor's office, and they told me I needed to go to the hospital. So I went, and in a nutshell, they said that I was experiencing symptoms of what's called preeclampsia, and my blood pressure was through the roof. And they said, we're gonna need you to be on bed rest. And I'm like, wait a minute, so I can't go to work? Anybody who knows me knows that that's kind of detrimental to me, because I like to make my own money. I like to have my own stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what she said. She said that they told me that I need to go on bed rest, and that's when things kind of got interesting. And what I mean by that is, so I was on bed rest. I was I was home, and I'm bored, and I was eating all kinds of crazy stuff. I remember having rice and peas sandwiches. Like, so instead of having too much testosterone, they said you didn't produce, no, not enough estrogen, progesterone. is what I didn't have enough. So I needed progesterone supplements, not estrogen. So I ended up being on bed rest for a little while, and then they would check on me, and I told them, you know, that I was still feeling all of these different symptoms. And so the doctor told me, she was like, okay, if you start to feel it again, then you need to come straight to the hospital. I'm like, okay, fine. So I got up in the middle of the night and I started to feel, the same things. And I remembered, oh no, I'm sorry. They wanted me to check my blood pressure at home. They told me to get a blood pressure machine and check my blood pressure at home. Oh, wow, Lady Rain. She says, yes, I experienced a stillbirth with my first baby and was told I could not have children. Wow. Wow. Listen, when I tell you miracles, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about miracles happening all the time, every day. Like, how was it that the Cinderella, impossible things are happening every day? Yeah. Yes, 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 absolutely. And my child, being here is one for sure. So check this. So I get the blood pressure machine, and they told me that if my blood pressure was at a certain level, that I need to go straight to the hospital. So that's what ended up happening. I checked my blood, got up in the middle of the night, started feeling all the stuff, um, checked my blood pressure, and it was high. So I called, I actually woke my ex-husband up, and I told him, I said, I have to go to the hospital because my blood pressure is high. And so I called to tell them, and again, it was the after hours. I called to tell them that I was coming, and they got in touch with my doctor, and my doctor said, okay, what I need you to do is I need you to go straight to the hospital now. I needed you to go straight to the hospital now. So I'm like, all right. So we got up, and before we even left, I want to say 5 minutes later, before we even got a chance to leave, the phone rang again. And it was, I don't remember the name of the lady, but she said that she was calling to inform me that the plan was for me to go from the hospital that I went to, that I was going to, the closest hospital to me. They were going to transfer me to, I don't know if anybody is familiar with Maria Ferreira, which is Westchester Medical Center in Westchester County, which specializes in premature babies. So they were telling me that they were going to take me from where I was going to go, and I needed to get to the hospital as soon as possible. And then they were going to transfer me there. So I'm not quite getting everything that's going on, and they're trying not to be too. They're trying not to be too, not to panic, and they're trying not to make me, all alarmed, and because again, like I said, my blood pressure was already through the roof, and they didn't want to make it any, they were very calm. They were very, very calm. So I go to the hospital, and they take my blood pressure and everything. They sit me in a bed. And my blood pressure is through the roof. Um, my blood pressure is through the roof. Absolutely. Labeled disabled, and was told I would never work again. And now you look at you. Look at you. Now you everywhere. Doing everything. I tell you, exactly. They were trying not to scare me, because that would have raised my blood pressure even more, and they could not do that. Just for those who may not know, like I said, I want you guys to look up what preeclampsia is, but it's a pregnancy. It's a condition that pregnant women sometimes have. And if your blood pressure ends up getting too high, you can have a seizure, which can be detrimental to the baby. Now, mind you, I was 25 weeks pregnant during this time. So Liberty was not ready yet. She was still baking, and she needed to stay there for a little while, longer. So what they did was they decided that they were going to let me stick around. They gave me a drip of magnesium to try to calm my symptoms down, which they were successful in doing. But they said, okay, good. They decided that what we're going to do was to get my symptoms calm enough so that they can transport me, because what they didn't want was for me to go into a seizure on the way to the hospital, because it was about, I think, like a 30-minute ride, about a 30-minute ride from where I was. So they needed me to be stable enough to actually be transported. But again, there was a lot of details I really wasn't aware of, but they told him because they didn't want to scare me, but somebody needed to know what was going on. So we are over there, and like I said, my symptoms calmed down. I didn't have no headaches. I didn't have, my blood pressure was, it was regulated. I didn't feel any tingles and anything. I was good. So they transported me to Maria Ferreira. I was there. They checked them, did all of the vitals and everything again. I was good. So what they decided to do was they were having me hold on, because what they were expecting was for me to have a seizure or get to the point where I was about to have a seizure. And that way, if I had done so, they were going to be ready to take Liberty out right then to try to save the both of us. Because from what I understand now that I didn't know then, is that we were both at risk for that. And then it was at the point where neither one of us, it was a possibility neither one of us would have made it. So God is so good, y'all. Oh my goodness. God is so awesome. So what ended up happening is I'm in the bed at the hospital, and they're still waiting, and they're waiting, and they're waiting. Nothing's happened. Like everything has calmed down. I'm not feeling anything. So they're like, you know what, we're going to keep you. And so that's what they did. They kept me there. I guess they were expecting to just keep me overnight. We're going to come back in a minute. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back in a minute, but I'm going to tell you what ends up happening afterwards, okay? And I will see you guys in just a second.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Alicia Rain for more info.
Are you interested in continuing your education, certificate, or degree that will prepare you in the ministry and equip you in the marketplace? Come make Christ Central University your home. Visit us at www.myccu.online.
Your voice is heard. Oh, oh, oh. Let's get crazy. You say. Oh, oh, oh. Let's get crazy. You say. Oh, oh, oh. Let's get crazy. You say. Oh, oh, oh. Let's get crazy. Lift your voice. Oh, oh, oh. Let's get crazy. You say.
You are now listening to Speaking Plain English with your host Roberta on Praise FM.
Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in with me again. We are this is Speaking Plain English. I'm your host Roberta, and we are talking about miracles happening in today's world. We're dedicating this to my baby girl, my big girl now, because she's almost as tall as me, Liberty McKenzie, who has turned 11 yesterday, and just the miracle of her being here. So like I said, I was in the hospital, and they were telling me, that they were waiting for the symptoms to return. As a matter of fact, I wish I remember the doctor's name. I don't remember his name, but there was a doctor that kept coming, every day. He would check on my symptoms. He would ask me, am I experiencing headaches? We were doing different tests and everything. There was protein in my urine and whatnot. I ended up having gestational diabetes and all of that. So in addition, due to that, but what they were most concerned about was my blood pressure, which was regulated off medication. I didn't have any other medication other than the magnesium that they gave me in the very beginning. So I wasn't even, taking any blood pressure pill, nothing. Like it was just regulated. So the doctors came back every day, checking on me and asking me, how you feeling today? Have you experienced any headaches? No. Are you feeling any tingling? No. Or do you have, the tingling, the headaches, or any blurred vision? No. And they kept me there like week after week after week. And in a nutshell, I ended up being there for about a month and a half. I was there for a month and a half. And I remember praying one week, not too long before I was discharged. But I remember praying because, first of all, anybody who has ever stayed in the hospital, y'all know you don't get no rest there. No rest. No rest. They wake you up every few hours just to make sure you're still alive. which I guess I understand they're doing their job, but they wake you up every few hours just to check your vitals and all of that stuff. And I was just exhausted. Matter of fact, one of the nurses was wondering why I was still there because she thought that I delivered already. And I'm like, nope, I'm still pregnant. I'm like, do I look like I delivered? I didn't look pregnant with her, actually. When Liberty, I did not look pregnant. I just looked like I was big. Like, my face was here. I have to show you. I wish I would have thought to get pictures, but my sister my sister said that my feet looked like biscuits. That's how big I was. Swollen, I'm telling you. This girl swole me up. So, man. So I'm gonna just so they kept telling me over and over again, right? That the doctor kept saying every day, the symptoms are gonna return because this is, we see this all the time. The symptoms never go away. They're always, and if they do, they always come back. We've never seen a case where the symptoms never return, all of this, that, and the third. And so he's just saying that we need for you, that we're keeping you because we need you to be here when it happens. So he kept saying that. He said that to me every day for quite a while. And then what ended up happening was, I want to say about a month in, I remember praying and I'm like, okay, God, I want to go home. I want to go home. So if this is something that you are doing to kind of, I don't know, astonish the doctors or baffle the doctors, can you have them send me home, please? Because I want to go home and I'm tired of being here. And there's no reason why I'm here because there's nothing wrong with me at this point. So I want to say the following week, I remember asking the nurse, I asked her, I said, I have a question for you. I told her that I'm here. There's, I have no symptoms. I'm not experiencing any symptoms. What happened? Can I go home? And she says, well, you can, you can leave if you want to, but you'll have to sign an agreement saying that is not, that you're leaving at your own discretion. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Something. It's like a form of non-compliance. In other words, this is not what the doctor suggested. I'm doing this on my own, of my own free will, understanding that the doctor says I should stay, but that I'm choosing to go against the doctor's orders and leave. So I thought about that and I'm like, maybe I should because I'm good. But then God reminded me that I said, you asked me to have them send you home, not you go home on your own. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I stayed. And then the week after that, the doctors came in again, did, all the checks and everything, and asked me all the questions. And when I tell you the very same word that I used in my prayer, it was either astonished or baffled, one of those two. And I believe the word was astonished. He said to me, we're astonished by your progress. We've never seen this before. Every time, like I told you, every time that a woman has come in, with these symptoms and having preeclampsia, she's always had to deliver early. And we kept you here because we needed to buy more time. It's better for her to stay in, talking about Liberty. It's better for Liberty to stay in and bake, and to stay in there as long as possible. But we just knew, but we're astonished by your progress. And he said that this is what we'll do. We'll do all the testing once again because they were checking to see about, the protein in the urine and all that stuff. If your test comes back good and you're still not experiencing any symptoms, as long as you agree to be an outpatient and come back once a week until, you give birth, then we'll let you go home. So I'm like, I think I'll take that. Let's go ahead and do this test. Let's go ahead and do this test. So that's what they did. They did all the testing and everything came back clear. And that's exactly what happened. They said, okay, so we're going to have you come back in 37 weeks, when you're 37 weeks. And, man, so they did. Like, I went home. I wanted to do cartwheels all the way down the down the hallway. I wanted to. I wasn't in any condition to do it, and I don't think I was capable of doing it, but I wanted to. My insides were leaping. And I remember one of the nurses asked me, she was like, "You've been so calm here. You've been so, so good. You've been, I would have been, gone nuts by now. Like, how were you calm? How were you so calm?" And I got a chance to tell her, I was like, honestly, it's God. It's all God. And that's it, because I prayed and I explained to her what my prayer was and everything. And so I had that moment, to introduce her, to, like, I don't know if she knew or she didn't, but I had the moment to be able to tell her, like, listen, this ain't me. Trust. This ain't me at all. This is all God. And sorry about that. Like I said, I'm outside. So I was able to go home, and I came back, did everything every week, 37 weeks. We had actually decided, it was on a Thursday. Yes, it was on a Thursday that we were supposed to, I was supposed to be induced. And I was induced. I'll put it like that. Not supposed to be. I was. They gave me this little pill, and it didn't do anything. I felt the contractions, though. I'll tell you that. I felt the contractions. And I was in the hospital for 3 days because, like I said, everything was fine, but she just didn't want to come out. Liberty did not want to come out. She did not want to come out. I remembered, it just came to mind how I remember, like, she wouldn't be moving sometimes because she was just relaxed. She was in the womb and she was relaxed. And in order for them to get her to move, just to make sure that she was okay, I had to put Nora Jones. It's a piano man? Piano song by Nora Jones. I had to put that on my belly, and then she would start moving. And then I still have a sonogram of her when she had her legs up in the air. And the doctor, or the sonogram tech, she says to me, she says, "Oh, looks like you have a dancer." And the funny thing is, she does. She dances. So, in a nutshell, we came on that Thursday. I was induced. She wasn't coming out. So by Saturday, my blood pressure started going up again. And I think it was because I was overly excited or because I was upset. There were one of the two. But they said that what they were going to do was they were going to give me a C-section. And that's exactly what I did. And lo and behold, what time was it? It was 3:16 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday, May 26th, 2012. Liberty G.M. McKenzie was born. And I tell you, this girl she's been amazing. Like, she's doing her guitar lesson right now, actually. And like, there's so much. That's right, she sure does dance. The girl is such an artist. And not only that, like, art comes in my family, like, whether we dance, we sing, we write, she does it all. Honestly, she does it all. And not only that, but she's so intelligent and she's so wise. Like, she'll ask me questions sometimes that I could be upset about, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to remember something that she asked me at one point, and I'm like, you know what? I can't even be mad because she's right. But she'll be respectful about it. And so, I mean, I'm just so godly proud, as my parents say, of my girl. I'm so proud of her, and I'm starting to tear up now because I was just talking to, when I was telling the story to Jeremiah this morning, I remember I was just thinking about all that it took to get her here. And I'm just excited to see her growth. I've been looking at pictures of her from when she was younger for the past couple of weeks. And it's just something to see, a life that almost wasn't. You know what I mean? A life that could not have been. A life that we had to fight to get here. Just moving up and have actual life. And she's she's, like I said, she's so intelligent and she's so creative, and she's a miracle girl. She's my baby. She's my rainbow. Like they call the rainbow babies, the ones that, the one baby that you have after miscarriages. Yeah. Blessed family. Thank God for answering prayers. He always does. I mean, honestly and truthfully, whew, I'm trying not to get too emotional here. But I'm just so proud, and I'm so glad that that was, God has shown me miracles with other things, and turn it down. Off actually. And then I thought about it. I'm like, not only would she may not have been here, but I may not have been here either. And if that would have happened, then my son would not have been here. And there's just so much from that moment, that I'm just reflecting on, and I'm thinking about, and I'm like, God, when I tell you, nobody can convince me otherwise that God ain't real. Like nobody can convince me that not just that God isn't real, but the name of Jesus doesn't work. Like honestly and truthfully, being more specific, nobody can convince me. Because I know, and it's not just because there's something, it's something because those of you who know me, y'all know I grew up in church, but it's something different. You know what I'm saying? It's something different when you get to experience God for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I haven't told y'all the story of when I knew for sure that when God showed me for real that he was real, I'll tell y'all at another time. But I mean, I wanted to share this story. One, because like I said, I wanted to dedicate this to my daughter, but because, in honor of her 11th birthday, but also because I want people to be encouraged, and I want people to understand, and to, I don't know if y'all can hear this, but that's her playing right now. I'm sorry. She just did something, and it shocked me. Okay. I'm trying to focus, y'all, but she doing her thing over here. So, yes, like I said, I want people to be encouraged, and I want people to know that Jesus is real. Like, God is so real. Like, he is so real. And not only the fact that he's real, but he does work. He still works miracles. He's still a miracle worker. I'm seeing it happen in my life. I'm seeing it happen in family members' lives. Y'all, listen, let me tell y'all real quick on how I had been wanting to move. Like, I don't know if y'all know, if I mentioned it to y'all, but I moved it was the end of last month. It was the very end of last month. But I had been like, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but when I tell you how God has just been so daggone strategic with how he has orchestrated everything, you know what I mean? Like, if you ask him to order your steps, he will. I promise you he will. Jeremiah, come. So I told my son that I would allow him to be a part of this. Come sit down. So, where are you? There you are. So everybody say hello to Jeremiah. Hi. Can y'all hear him? I just need to know if you guys can hear him. So if you can't, let me know, because I'm going to start asking questions. So everybody, this is my son, Jeremiah. If you've been watching, before, you've seen him and Liberty on other episodes that they did with my god baby Alana as well. And I just wanted you to say something like, how does it feel to have a big sister? You don't know?
Just being judged from it.
Huh?
Just being judged a lot.
Just being judged a lot, he says. Again, this is live and there's no scripts, so he's being honest. So what is it like to be a little brother? Or let me ask you this. Remember how I told you that if Liberty and I were not here, then you wouldn't be here? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? You can hear him. Aaliyah says, "Hey, little buddy." He says he doesn't know. This kid talks and talks a lot. So I don't know what's going on right now. Are you finished?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that you want to say?
No.
Nothing. He just wants to go play. Okay. So back to me. Because he decided that he just wants to go play. Go ahead, you can go play. So I'm done, y'all. I just want y'all to be encouraged, honestly and truthfully. Like, I want you to trust God, honestly. Get off me. I want y'all to trust him. I want y'all to know. I want you to know that you can trust him. I'll put it like that. And that miracles aren't just something from the Bible. Like, we've been seeing testimonies of different things, you know, of how Lady Rain says that she was disabled. She was told, you know, one of her children were stillborn, and she was told that she wouldn't have any more kids, and she absolutely does. And then on top of that, how they told her that she was going to be disabled. Like, it's great to go to the Bible to find out the miracles that he did then, but it doesn't stay there. It doesn't stop there. I'll put it like that. Miracles don't stop there. There's a scripture that says, if your ways please God, then he'll give you the desires of your heart. And that's part of what, you know, my company is about. So my suggestion to you is that if there is something that you are really, really believing for, whether you believe that it can happen or not, whether you believe you're deserving of it or not, whether you believe that God is either willing or able to do it, start to trust him. Like, begin. When I say begin, I mean, like, take it one step at a time. Because what I'm learning is that what God does is that he meets you where you are. And he knows where you are. He knows your trust level. He knows what you've been through. He's your manufacturer. You know what I mean? He made you. So he knows all that you've been through. He knew what you were going to go through before you went through it. You know what I mean? So even though it may be difficult to trust him, I admonish you to take a step. Take a step. And when I say a step, just, all right, God. So even if you're not even sure if you believe him, honestly, even if you're not sure if you believe in God, just start talking. You know what I'm saying? Just start talking. Like, God, if you like, be honest with him, because that's the thing. Like, he don't want you to be phony. He don't want you to be fake, and he don't, you know what I'm saying? He just wants you to be real and upfront and like, listen, I have a desire to get to know you. I want to know if you're real, first of all. Like, instead of talking to yourself, talk to God. Or both. You can talk to yourself too. But really and truly and honestly, just start where you are. Just start where you are. He doesn't expect you to take that much of a leap. Like, I don't know if anybody have ever seen how small a mustard seed is. You know what I'm saying? But that's all that's really required. If we have the faith the size of a mustard seed, which is smaller than I can even put my fingers together. Which is smaller than I can even put my fingers together to, you know what I'm saying? To do. Because it's that small. And that's all that's required. He can work with that. He can work with that. All he wants is the desire to be there, and the genuine desire to show you who he is. Back up. To show you who he is, and how, number one, how much he loves you, honestly and truthfully, and how he can change your life and transform your life, like, honestly and truthfully. That's all he wants, is the chance. Give it to him. Give him the chance, y'all. Like, honestly, give him the chance. And I'm done for the day. Thank y'all so much for listening, and thank y'all for the well wishes from my baby. Miracles are happening, y'all. I'm one. My child is one. And okay, hold on. She says, I was walking and this lady was on the phone, and she said she was talking to God, like, God, I'm not where I should be, but you know me and I'm talking to you and it made my heart happy. Honestly, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's his desire. His desire is to meet you where you are. His desire is to, his desire really is to prosper you and to be, and to make sure that you're good. He wants you to be in health in every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. It says even as your soul prospers. So it's not like he wants your soul to prosper more than your natural, or your natural to prosper more than your soul. He wants to prosper evenly. You know what I mean? So I'm just overwhelmed with joy today. I'm just overwhelmed with joy this whole weekend to see her here and to see all that she's doing. And y'all keep my baby in your prayers, and me and my son, just because I promise you, I know that they've got such wonderful life ahead. Wonderful life ahead. And the devil don't like that. And that's how we like to keep it. Mad. Okay? I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Until next time. Matter of fact, y'all stay tuned for, first of all, I'm going to do another commercial, and then we're going to do the outro. The outro is actually what she made, if I didn't tell you. She made the intro too. So y'all stay tuned.
Are you the next great independent artist, but you're looking for a distribution opportunity? Well, sign with us at Praise.fm Music Distribution. Yes, the 2021 Stellar Award nominated Praise.fm can handle it all. We understand the narrow road leading to getting your music heard at the right time at the right place can be tough. So send your music and video files to fmpraise@gmail.com. That's fmprayz@gmail.com. Praise.fm Music Distribution, affiliated with Sony Music and the Orchard Distributors.
My God, y'all are praising right there.
I threw it in, my God, he threw it back at me. He threw it right back at me, yes he did. I threw in the towel. I wanted to give up.
Ain't no way I'm gonna let you down. Ain't no way I'm gonna let you down. I'm this far, I'm gonna get my crown. You're the reason why my mind is sound. The campaign has come around and it's pounding at my door.
Your voice is heard. Oh, let's get crazy. You say.
You are now listening to Speaking Plain English with your host Roberta on Praise FM.